This is 2016 Toyota Corolla. I just cleaned all the acid buildup corrosion off the battery terminal. Now I'm going to clean the mass airflow sensor here and intake throttle body, clean the carbon buildup. For that, I'm using CRC cleaners, and I got the 10mm socket and a little Phillips head to take out the mass airflow sensor, and I have microfiber towel here to clean the intake throttle body in there. Okay, first I'm gonna remove the two small Phillips screws right here. Be careful not to drop it. After that, this will just pop out. But before I do that, I'm gonna press down on this end of this connector tab. Use a screwdriver to help pry that out. Okay. Gonna pop out, but don't touch anything below here. Okay, you see that little sensor? It's kind of like a tiny light bulb. So that's what we're gonna clean. But we're gonna spray generally other areas as well, but that's the main target. And okay, again, wear gloves and safety glasses. So I'm just gonna spray right this area here, okay, liberally, and I'm gonna do from both sides. That's the main area, but I'm gonna clean this area as well, just to remove any dust buildup. This one is actually very clean, so it doesn't need much spray. I've seen ones where you can't really see the that little light bulb thing, that sensor, because it's all darkened. Okay, the reason why I do this mass airflow sensor first is to give it time to dry. This spray here dries pretty quick, but nevertheless, let it dry while I'm cleaning the throttle body. Okay, next I'm gonna pop off the engine cover. Just lift it straight up, okay? Don't pull it out in the angle. Lift it straight up. And there are 4 grommets here that gets placed in here, okay? Next, I'm gonna undo this air intake hose here. Again, 10mm. Okay, I'm gonna pull it out of there. And same thing on this side here, 10mm. Out of the way. Now, this is a small engine, so it's a pretty tiny throttle body, probably one of the smallest one I've seen. Actually, my goodness, this one is pretty clean except the edges. I'm really impressed. That's how really clean it is inside. Yep, there's some carbon buildup, but not much. All right, so what I'm gonna do is I'm I'm gonna spray this. You can spray it on there, or you can spray it on the rag. I mean don't use rag on here. Use a clean towel. I'm using a microfiber towel. I'm gonna spray it onto the. I'll try both. Spray in here and on a towel, and just try to basically clean all the black carbon buildup. You can see a little bit there. So when I'm doing it, I'm gonna actually push in the flap from one side so I can get at the inside of that flap as well. Now if your throttle body is really dirty, you might consider actually taking it out, and I can see 4 bolts holding this and 2 hoses here and 1 connector, and looks like that might completely remove this. Maybe in the future that's what I'll do, but right now it's not that dirty, so this is just going to require light cleaning, so I'm not going to do that. By the way, if you're going to use the spray, I suggest you tape the spray nozzle so it doesn't shoot in there. Okay, but since it's not super dirty, all right, so I'm gonna spray around the edges and spray some on here. Okay, so I'm getting some. It's not totally clean. Right now I got the flap held down, and I'm cleaning the edges. Wow, I'm really shocked at how clean this throttle body is. Okay, so there is carbon buildup, but it was more to the inside than the outside. Okay, I'll spray some more here. Also, when the flap is it's got a pretty strong spring to it, so don't just let it go, okay? So put it back easily. So it looks pretty clean now. Okay, put this hose back in. When you put the hose back in, note the little rib here. See this metal? So make sure you position it correctly here, like that. Okay, get the other side of the hose in. This clamp moved out, but I took it out, so make sure to pull the clamp back up so you can tighten it. Okay, it's in there. The hose is already pretty tight. Don't over tighten this and damage the hose. It was not tight when I loosened it in the first place. Just tighten it snugly so that it's just not gonna come out, and it's not gonna come out easily because the hose is pretty rigid. Okay, now my master airflow sensor is all dried up. Remember, the connector side goes that way. Okay, it's in there. Just gotta clean the connector area that's a little bit dusty. Just push and snap that in. Okay, now there may be cars that are sensitive to cleaning the throttle body with the flap manually pushed in. But to be honest, I've done it to Volkswagen Jetta, Lexus GS300, Camry, Honda Civic, Highlander, and this is the Corolla. And I've done it to multiple Toyota generations. I've never really had any issue. Only one time I saw a slight high idle, briefly, maybe a couple minutes, but it settled down right away. So let's see what happens here. So I'm gonna start the car. Okay, start it right up. I'm looking at the idle there, and of course idle should be high when you just start the car, then it should come down, and I want to see it settle. That light that's blinking there is a TPMS light. I believe one of the tires has a damaged TPMS on this car, so we got to get that fixed. Actually, what I should have done was taken an idle video before. I meant to do that every time, I forget. So once the engine warms up to the operating temperature level, the idle should settle somewhere between 800 to 900. So I'm gonna actually take the car around the block, circular block, a couple of times, and come back and remeasure when the temperature comes up. Okay, I took a second drive around the block. Looks like it's idling at about 800, and you can see the cooling temperature is now at the operating temperature level. Okay, so the idle is pretty stable, around 800, 850, maybe even sometimes 900. So everything is idling smooth. It's driving just fine. If you do run into rough idle, they do have idle relearn steps, and I'll add that steps at the end of this video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you guys next time. Take care.